Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome. I am so excited and I'm honored to have with us today on our Voices from the Liminal. Today we have Eron Mazza, and Eron is a witch. He is an author and the host of the podcast, The Witching Hour with Eron Mazza, where deep conversations around magic, embodiment, and lived spirituality take center stage. They are also the spirituality and wellness columnist for the local LGBTQ plus magazine out in STL and a contributing writer for the national publication Horns Magazine. Eron lives and serves their community in St. Louis, Missouri, where they share life with their two partners and four beloved dogs. Their work centers on authenticity, embodied magic, and honoring spirituality as a living relational practice. I'm so grateful to hold this space today and invite you into the liminal conversations. So welcome, Eron. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
I'm super excited to have you here.
Well, I am super excited to be here. I am very honored to have you, for you to have me. Yay!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I first came across you because of Living Lenormand, and I was first starting to really start picking it up. So tarot's my first thing, but I'm like, okay, I was starting to collect some Lenormand decks, and I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do this. We just talked about this backstage. Ask me to do a grand tableau. I'm going to be like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Don't ask me. And even then I still have a hard time like putting 3 or 5 together. So, but either way, I'm excited that Crosscrow Books sent this book to me because it really just was like, and I told you like via DM on Instagram, it was like mind blown. Like the fact that I could use this for magic was for me. I love combining tarot with magic, with candle magic and everything like that. But it was just like a whole like mind blowing thing when I read it in here to do magic with Lenormand. So I'm excited to talk about this book and talk about you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a Leo, but I sure love to talk about myself.
Oh, speaking of Leo, we have a really strong Leo in the chat today, but I'm going to go ahead and say hi to everybody. And then once we get to that Leo, we'll say hi to him.
Yes.
So first up, we have Heather. Hey, Heather. So Heather has actually recently bought a really cool Lenormand deck. And I was on her live not too long ago, earlier this week, I feel, Heather. Was it last week? I don't know. My days are so blurred with the holidays. And she was using her Lenormand deck, and it was just absolutely beautiful. It was like an octagonal type of shape Lenormand that she bought on Etsy. So it's beautiful. But hi, Heather. Thank you.
Hello, Heather. Hello.
We have Old Windwalker here today. Hello, Old Windwalker. Welcome.
Howdy.
And here is the Leo. We have Wild Raven Tarot. He is my co-host, who I also sent this Lenormand deck to. He's now with Crosscrow Books, and he also just got your book recently. And he wants to get you on his channel and do interviewing, because he does also interviewing as well as people in the community. So
I am down, and I am already excited.
Thank you. And we have Gigi. Hey, Gigi, how are you? Welcome, Gigi.
Hello, Gigi.
Hey, KL, how are you? It's so nice to see you. Lady Blindwolf. Hello, Lady Blindwolf. How are you? And Madam Maru. Maru is like the best moderator out there. She's phenomenal with putting links up and everything. So thank you, Maru, for being here.
Hello.
Maple Grove. Welcome, Maple Grove. Oh, my girl Bridget, the Fabled Witch, is here. She was the first one I interviewed in this series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello, Bridget.
Yeah, she was the first one. And she was the second one, Craggy Brook Witchery. She's a wonderful Canadian with an amazing practice. I adore her practice. She's such a beautiful person.
Awesome. Howdy.
Yeah. We have Amber, Psychopomp of the Void. She is in my sisterhood. Hey, Amber.
She's very excited.
I I love her. We have Goldmund XY. His name is Roman. Welcome, Roman. How are you, my primo? Green Willow. Hey, Green Willow. How are you? And oh, my beautiful sister. We have Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension.
Hello.
Hi, Rochelle. Amy Warrior Princess. I absolutely love your name, by the way. Every time it comes up, it just makes me so happy to see your name. It's such a cool name. We have Draven. Hey, Draven. How are you? Oh, my girl, Ellie. Hi, Ellie. How are you? And let's see. Am I getting down to the bottom here? Here we go. I think we have everybody so far that I've checked on and said hi to. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for being here and sharing in this liminal space with myself and with Erin. Okay, Erin, so I'm going to start asking you some amazing questions that I've been kind of like looking you up on YouTube and looking at your other interviews. And I've really been enjoying what I've been watching and just watching your other videos. I'm excited. I was so excited to have you. I'm like, this guy is so cool. I love it.
Well, thank you for having me. The honor is all mine.
Thank you.
It's weird to be in this chair and not
the other way around
and not have the word host under my name.
So it started off with me. So my co-host Bobby was the first one to interview me. And then him and I just really hit it off really well. And months later, he's like, hey, you want to host a show with me? He called it Behind the Moon. And there was 3 of us. And we just get together every Thursday. And we just talk about whatever it is that's happening. And whatever magic or like cemetery magic, ancestral magic. Or we'll do like readings for people. We just do random stuff together. So he's the one that really pushed me out there to get a lot more comfortable with doing lives, you know?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited to have you. So you have worn many hats and many roles. Which publisher, podcaster, what feels like the true threshold moment that set your current path in motion?
The true threshold moment. So we're going to have to go back when I was 25, which is, I won't say if it's near or far, but I left seminary at 25 and I just reached that point. And I reached a point either I was going to be honest with myself or I was going to spend my entire life living a lie. And I made the choice to be authentic. And in that moment, once I just let everything go that wasn't me by nature, I feel like everything has just been sort of a slingshot forward for me. And that has good things and that has bad things.
Yeah, I love that. So that was actually my next question. You've spoken before about leaving seminary and coming out around the same time you found witchcraft. How did those crossings reshape your understanding of power, spirituality, and self-trust?
It reshaped a lot of it. It's one thing where it really kind of personal responsibility came home because in my path now, I believe that we are responsible for the evil in the world. Humanity is responsible for the evil in the world. And
100%.
And on the other side, they blame somebody else. So if anything, witchcraft didn't just teach me about power, it taught me that power does not come without a burden, if that makes sense.
Definitely, 100%. 100%.
And the bigger, the more power you want, the bigger the burden that you're going to carry. It really makes me think of heavy is the head that wears the crown, or Spider-Man's with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, that is very true. Or I automatically thought about Star Wars, and what their power and their responsibility that they had with the Force and what to do with it and what side to take and the good side or the bad side. So I think it's learning to balance all that is always a little bit tough.
It is. It definitely can be, especially whenever you have like that moment of introspection and you're just like, oh, I feel it's kind of like I feel something erupting out of the shadow that just we got to deal with it, and that's what I do. It is witchcraft and my walk over these last years has been one of the most fulfilling, one of the but at the same time most challenging things that I have ever done, because it really does. Your path calls you to take a long, hard look at yourself.
It does, and it's learning to figure out what ethics you are going to stick by.
Exactly.
You know, it's also, there's ethics in tarot, there's ethics in Lenormand, there's ethics in magic, and ethics in who you are as a person, and what it is you're going to do and not do. Like even with spell casting, like I have a hard stop on anything relationship wise. I don't like reading relationships for people, period. I don't like doing any spell casting on relationships either, because then you're dealing with, you're trying to interfere with someone's free will, and I'm completely against doing that. So when people have asked me before, and I'm like, not only is doing like readings on relationships icky for me, like if you don't know what they think about you, I don't know what to tell you. You should know what that person thinks about you. You know, you should already know what, and if you're being too clingy or too like over dramatic, then I don't know what to tell you if that person doesn't like you because of that. I mean, you have to do some introspection on yourself before you start having people read for you and say they haven't been in a relationship in years and you're still like obsessed about them. Come on, people. Like, really?
It's always, I'm kind of in between whenever it comes to reading relationships. Yeah. I will read one person at a time, because if it's gelling, if it's going together, the other person is going to bleed into your reading.
Yeah, I mean, you can read around the energy of it, but I feel like to start reading that other person, I'm like, I mean, I can maybe try and do the energy, but don't expect me to do any spell casting on you to tie this person to you or to break up their marriage, or I'm not doing, that's like a hard no.
Me, yeah, because it's I'm very much the free will person, and when you get involved in situations like that, whether it's magically or otherwise, you inevitably end up with egg on your face and maybe a few bruises to go with it.
Yeah, let me throw my money at you. Oh goodness, what are you guys talking about in here? You're hilarious. Oh my gosh, I have the best chatters in here. Oh, of course, Bobby, I love you. I'm not above it. Awesome. So witchcraft is often described as an equalizer for those who have felt unseen or unheard. How do you experience that truth today compared to when you first began?
How do I experience that truth today as to when I first began? What I have noticed, especially with that phrase, is that when people do me wrong, let's say, I used to be all in a rush. Oh, I'm going to get him, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to snatch him. I'm just going to de-wig him just right there.
Yeah.
But now I've learned, hey, Erin, just step back, because the goddess, the universe, whatever you choose to call your divinity, is going to get them. It is going to get them eventually. And then some people might be like, hey, Erin, then why do magic? Why do spellcraft? The universe is going to get them anyway. Well, sometimes you are the get them in get them. So
true.
I just have to realize that getting revenge is not my responsibility all the time. Some people will.
All the time?
All the time.
Yeah.
I've
been known to do stuff, but it was warranted.
Yes.
But I won't do it willy-nilly. And if somebody asks for it, I'm not, I don't know. I don't really know that other person and their real true situation. Like for myself, I'll do it. Other people, no.
I have rules whenever it comes to spellcraft.
Yeah.
Like you, I don't mess with free will. I don't want to manipulate and control or do anything like that. I am not going to work a curse on somebody who hasn't done dirt to you first. I mean, like real bad stuff, like hurt you emotionally, physically, is abusing you. But if they're just, you just want to do it just as a flex, not going to do it. I don't believe in vanity magic. And yeah, those are really my two things. I'm not going to harm somebody unless they did it to me or someone I care about first, or unless I know the story,
the real story.
Yeah, just
the real story. Like, I know personally
stuff.
what's going on, you know, even then it's still, I'm like, because it takes a lot of time and energy. Are they worth my herbs? Are they worth my time? That's the way I look at it. Are they worth because my herbs are precious to me, and they're not
expensive.
Cheap. They're not cheap. I mean, I have jars and jars of stuff, but it's not cheap. Even the jars that they're held in, those mason jars, are not cheap. So
those are the good ones.
Yeah, I got the other ones because I have, I'm a little bit OCD and I like it to look the same.
Then my spiritual room would drive you crazy.
One of these days, I'm going to have you flip the camera so we can see it. No, I'm joking.
Oh, wait. Well, one of my partners is doing laundry right now, so I don't have a laundry basket in the room. So the dirty laundry is just kind of laying in a pile.
That's fine. That's fine.
But definitely, I would love to give you a guided tour of my spiritual digs.
I love that. Thank you. So, okay. The Anderson fairy tradition is often described as ecstatic, creative, and embodied. What drew you into a path on a soul level rather than just an intellectual one? And for someone who's never heard of Anderson fairy tradition, how would you describe that to them?
Let's start with how I found fairy. I was part of I was in another mystery school before I found fairy. It was a wonderful mystery school. It was a great teaching, but then I got sick with COVID really bad in 2020, like almost passed away sick. And so it was a kind of a wake up call. And I felt just the lure of the fairy. I felt the draw of the path. And then I started to, it's very, another thing that really I felt called to it is that it's very queer centric, and I still have that pastoral spirit. I want to look after other people who are on the path. I want to help them. I want to feed them. I want to help them grow in whatever spirituality that they want to grow in. I still have that kind of heart, even though I left seminary, and I feel like fairy was the right path for me because, like I said, it's queer centric, it's artistically inclined. There is no hard fast rules. One of my friends who is in fairy says that anything that's secret in fairy can fit onto an index card.
Oh, interesting. So I just recently started working with fairies. Probably early spring is when I kind of started noticing stuff happening like outside. And then shortly after that, I got blessed with like a whole field of mugwort on my property. I'm on 10 acres. I've never seen mugwort ever on my yard, ever, ever, ever. One day I'm coming home and I'm pulling into my driveway. And as I'm backing in, because it's a long driveway and the way we like to back, we always back in. I'm backing in and something in me, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, is that mugwort? I've never, ever, ever seen mugwort not dried before. I've always seen it in a jar form. I've always seen it like dried. I've never seen it like live, like a real plant, ever, ever. And something in me automatically said it was mugwort. I get out of my car, I look it up, I flip the leaves and I'm like, oh my God, it's mugwort. So after that, I found like mullein in my property. I found honeysuckle on my property. I found a whole bunch of chicory. There was just a bunch of other stuff that I was finding on the property within a 2-week time frame, right after starting working with fairies.
That's amazing. It just did it like you said, and that all started with the mugwort that you found.
It started with the mugwort. That was the first thing. And then within like And then it was mullein afterward. Oh, I found agrimony as well. I've never seen agrimony. I looked at it and it was just one little patch by itself. And I'm like, that has to be something. I looked at it again, pulled out my book, and I was like, that is agrimony. What is agrimony doing on my property? What is mugwort? What is honeysuckle? I've never seen a honeysuckle bush tree in my property ever. It was like on the corner of my property as I'm decided to start walking around and checking out what was blooming.
That's awesome. See,
Yeah.
it's you've started to, I mean, you've been doing this all through your path, but it's like whenever you started paying attention specifically to like spirits around your around your property, because all too often this might be off subject, but it's just I'm known for the rabbit holes on my show.
I love rabbit holes.
And it's like we all just we always work with like the Greek pantheon or the Norse pantheon or pantheon, these big cultural pantheons. But in your own backyard, you have one of the most powerful pantheons a witch or an occultist could ask for.
There's also a portal on my property. There's a fairy portal on my property. And it was shortly after all of that, like a month later, we started on our group with Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension. We had like each one of the ladies had a monthly VR that they did. And one of my really good friends, she works with fairies. So hers was about fairies. And I'm walking around my property and I see a triangle, upside down triangle shape. The way the bark was going, the trees were leaning. It was an upside down triangle. Beautiful, perfectly. There was wrapped like vines around it. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, what in the world is this? So I left offerings. Couple days later, I decided to go through that same part of the property again. And I walk in where I thought was the same part. And everything looked different. It was darker. It was gloomier. And I'm walking in a couple steps and I'm like, whoa, this is not where I was at.
Oh no.
A couple days ago. So I back out, retract all the way back, get permission. I asked, can I please come in? And I had crystals with me. I'm dropping off crystals. I take 3 steps to my right, walk back in, and it was nice and sunny and the birds were chirping and it was green again. And I'm like, what the heck was that? I literally walked through a portal. I swear it was the craziest, wildest thing ever. And the fact that I asked permission and I walk in again and everything's back to the way it looked a couple days prior.
That's crazy. I believe you whenever you say it was a portal, because you just hear these stories, like all these like rumors where like people will disappear in the middle of a field.
Yeah. And then they end up somewhere else. But for me, like I automatically noticed the vibe was completely different. I'm like, okay, this is not, I wasn't here a couple days ago. What's going on here? So I'm like, let me just back out, get permission, take a couple steps to the right, walk back in again. And it was like back to normal. And I'm like, this is wild. Absolutely wild.
I have never had that happen to me, but like your story and the stories I was talking about just a second ago, really just whenever you hear about it, like on these paranormal shows that aren't witchcraft oriented.
Yeah.
And you're just like, just say it's the fairies. Just say it's the fairies.
That's what I thought. That's what I automatically said. I'm like, it has to, because it was in the same part of the property where that portal, that upside down triangle was at, and it just looks so magical and mystical in that part of the property. It's very wooded, and there's a tree there. It's like almost at the entrance of the property. It's the huge tree, which I call it the guardian tree because the way it looks. And I always drop off, like I take crystals and drop them off and thank them for protecting the property. Like that is also where that tree is at. It's a guardian tree. I've known it since I first saw it. I was like, that tree is so majestic and huge and very regal looking. You know, it's almost like a king. So it's in that same part where that tree's at. So that's why I figured it's definitely fairies.
And it's just like, but I mean, it's so that tree just gives off a vibe. It's just imposing.
It does. It does. It definitely gives off a vibe. And I've taken pictures there, and it just, I mean, half the time my crystals go missing. I don't know where the heck they go. There's like a little cove on the inside part. It kind of like scooped in, and I drop off the crystals there. And I went back again days later, and I'm like, where the heck are my crystals? They're all gone. So I don't know if a squirrel took them or the tree just decided to suck them in, and I don't know. So Amber, did I feel a whoosh of energy, like frequency was being? Yes, definitely. There was this incredible energy, but it was also very like almost depressive at the same time because it was so dark. It looked very dark than normal. So it didn't feel like my normal happy, type of energy with the birds. There was no birds chirping. The sun wasn't shining. It was like complete night and day. It was crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, that's my property.
That's cool. I miss living. I live in the middle of St. Louis now. I live in the inner city, but at one point I lived in a cabin, an unincorporated, like rural Illinois. And you want to talk about magical experiences?
So the Midwest, yeah.
Oh yes. I remember one night I was driving back from our old house, and that far out, there's no street lights out there. And it was just
that's
my headlights.
Me now. Like I'm in the middle of nowhere.
It said that's the best place to be.
It is.
But I was driving along and I saw this white creature poked its head out of the tall grass on the side of the road. And it had like a long, like almost super angular, like horse's face. And like I was driving along and I turned to look at it, and that thing turned and looked at me. And it's like the features of the face changed automatically, and it pulled its head back into the brush. And I have never been more thankful to be in a vehicle.
I've had so many experiences like that.
And I'm like, is that a skinwalker? Is that what
my first thought was? A skinwalker. That's my first thought, because we encountered my husband and I, when we went out west, we live in Pittsburgh now, but we drove we took 2 weeks off, and we ended up in the Four Corners. So Colorado, New Mexico, we were in that section right there, and we were in I think we were in Colorado, and we went to Mesa Verde, and there was the national parks, and with the dwellings that are in the caves and everything. My husband and I, we were just sitting there watching the sunset, just relaxing. We were by a ranger station. Not once in like the 6 hours we were sitting there did anyone come by. We didn't see anybody at all in 6 hours, which is rare.
Oh man.
We were on the edge of a cliff there and sitting there, and as we were sitting, just enjoying the sunset, because you can see the sky. It's just you can see the Milky Way. It's just beautiful. We started hearing footsteps on both sides of us, like kind of slowly coming in and like encroaching in our area. And I all of a sudden got a really massive headache, and I was feeling burning down my back. And I'm telling my husband, I'm like, honey, I don't feel good. Something's not right here. And he's like, you want to go? And I'm like, oh, we'll just sit here for a little bit longer. I just, I'm like, this is beautiful out here. I just want to sit here. As we sat there, maybe about another 20, 30 minutes later, I had a vision of my husband jumping off that cliff, and I'm pulling him in. And I'm like, okay, honey, I think it's time for us to leave. Like something's not right. We still feel the energy of someone. Like we can still hear the footsteps. There's nobody around us, no lights around us. He's like, okay, get in the truck and I'll start packing our stuff up, because we had like a little cookout. I'm like, no, let me help you. I'm going to get everything in the truck with you before we go to the hotel. I'm going to help you. As we're driving out, so it's a long drive to get out from the national park back onto the main highway road, which was Route 666, by the way. It's what it said on our GPS. I know.
Oh boy.
I'm like, what's this? So as we're in the truck and we're getting, we're going to our hotel room, he was like, I had the strangest vision. And I'm like, shut up. I had a strange vision. He goes, I saw you jumping off the cliff and I'm pulling you in. I'm like, shut up. I'm pulling you in. You're jumping off the cliff. We both had the same vision of the other person jumping off the cliff and the other one pulling us back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's not an experience. It sounds like something I would want to have.
No, it was the craziest thing. And he said in the middle of that night in the hotel room, I was sleeping, sitting straight up. I was not laying down. He's like, you just in the middle of the night got up and you're sleeping, but you're sitting straight up like you are right now. Like I am right now.
Oh, wow.
He was like, what took over you? I'm like, I have no idea, honey.
Yeah. He should be very fortunate that's all that happened.
I know. But those are the types of experiences that makes me like, okay, this stuff is real. When they talk about skinwalkers and the Mothman, we live somewhat close to the Mothman, and all those types of cryptids and paranormal stuff that happens, La Chupacabra. This stuff's real, guys. It's real. Aliens. I mean, it's real. Yeah, fairies, different kinds of fairies. You know, there's a whole different type of umbrella of fairies.
Mm-hmm.
From they're dragons to gnomes to from brownies. They're not all cute and fuzzy and, you know, have wings and want to work with you.
That's one of the things. We have this Victorian image of some people, most people, the popular image of fairies, these cute little sprites that jump from flowers. And, but in actuality, there are fairies that eat human flesh. There are fairies that will.
Is that the gremlins, maybe?
I believe they're called red caps.
They're red caps, but do they look like gremlins? Because I haven't.
Oh yes. So sometimes they're portrayed as gremlins, and sometimes they can look like short humans. It's very, very interesting, and they call them red caps because they dye their red caps in blood.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, and it's the fairy race is. There are ones that look like me and you, just like you were saying, but there are giants. And not all of them. There are some that humans should never try to interact with, and because they are completely anti-humanity. And there are some that will only work with you if you promise them stuff. That's most fairies though, and that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's almost like any deity or goddess you're trying to work with. It's always it's a give and take type of relationship, I feel.
And that's the universe itself. The universe is kind of it's that balance we were talking about just a second ago. Yeah. You give a little, you take a little. You give a little, you take a little.
Yeah. And I think that's with anything, any type of relationship, it is a give and take.
Very, 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 very much so. But yeah, getting back to the fairies. I mean, if the stories of like the changelings and stuff like that weren't enough to tell you about some of the nature of fairy, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the changelings. I mean, that's where all of the story comes from. All of those movies you watch with, what the heck are these movies? What's the 3-hour-long movie with it's almost like Star Wars, Star Trek, but it's the different type of, guys, help me out here in the chat. What is the movie with, oh, for heaven's sake, it's going to kill me if I don't remember this. It's like Lord of the Rings. There we go.
Yes.
Holy crap, Lord of the Rings. You know, so I think all of that stuff, there's some truth to that when they are making those types of movies, I feel.
I can definitely, it's also like every myth, every folk tale, there is a grain of truth. There's like a little nugget of truth at the very center. Fable sprouts from the truth, kind of like seeds. It's someone's attempt to paint a picture with words and paint a picture of the world, not as it is, but even as the world possibly was at one point.
That's a nice way to say it, that it was at one point, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know what it was at that time frame. We only know what's been recorded in our human voice, I guess, in our own human books that we have. We don't know what really happened before then.
Mm-mm.
And nobody's been here long enough to actually see it, really, like to see what happened. It's all whatever's written on books and what's passed down from word of mouth and then eventually on a book.
And it's also usually, thank God it's changing recently. It's also just about the winner always wrote the history of struggle. I mean,
That is correct.
always
That
wrote
is
the
correct.
history.
Yeah. And it is written in the tone of the winner. So they're gonna say it how they want to say it. Like any of the past wars or anything like that. It's always history is written by the winners.
And but yeah, that's it. Going back to fairies, like I said,
Yeah,
there I go down
that's
one of those
right.
rabbit holes again.
I know. So the next question I had for you is, you described your experience with severe illness, and that was talking about COVID that you had, as a profound paradigm shift. In what ways did that experience change how you relate to magic, mortality, and embodiment?
Oh man, that mortality one. But
Yeah.
the way it changed for me is magic just became that much more visceral.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because whenever I was sick with like the 102, 103-degree fever, I was having hallucinations. But
Wow.
I like to think hallucinations, but it's like I started like being that in that headspace, being that off kilter, kind of changed
Near
my,
death.
yes, kind of changed my perceptions.
Yeah.
And so that's how I was able to see, like, take that peek into the spirit world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got the call to start following the fairy path and start with the Anderson fairy tradition. And it changed the way that I related to mortality big time, because for a while I wouldn't really think about death or dying.
Yeah.
Uh, I wouldn't really think about living in the moment. I was always worried about what was in the future. What is this going to be like? Stressing about
Yeah.
tomorrow. But now it's just kind of like, what can happen 15 seconds from now?
Yeah.
What, and it's not to be like Debbie Downer or anything like that, but it definitely taught me to live and appreciate every single moment, because there's always a grain of hope and a grain of good in everything, no matter how dark, no matter how severe a situation seems. Uh, always look for that grain. Always look for that tiny little seed,
Yeah.
and let the new grow from the bad. Let the bad fertilize your future.
I love that. So, do you work with any death deities or goddesses or anyone like that?
In fairy, I work with a, I guess you would call her in fairy. I don't work with like Hades or
Mm-hmm.
any of the super duper like well-known death gods, but I do worship my ancestors, and I do
Love
work
that.
with a deity and with an aspect in fairy that does relate to death.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So I'm Mexican. So for us, we do, of course, Day of the Dead is huge for us. And I don't just do a Day of the Dead. For me, it's year round. I have like a permanent ancestral altar for them.
Oh,
But I also work with, I started, my initial path was starting off with Hecate. And now I'm deep into Santa Muerte.
oh wow! I
So for
live.
me, death is not like finale. Like it's not the final, it's not the final chapter for you, because I also do a lot of past life regression. I do a lot of past life exploration and stuff like that. And I've uncovered about 19 of my past lives. And to me, because of how I work with death, it's it it it's not finale for me. It's like, okay, this is my class that I'm in right now. This is the new, I'm in classes in session right now. We'll see how I do well with this class. If I'm going to pass all the exams that my guides angels and spirit team all had set up for me. But that's the way I view the now.
That's kind of, that also makes sense. That also really clicks for me, especially with like the exams.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get the easier exams?
I know, right? I mean, I'm also in college right now. So for me, it's like I see all of this stuff and I'm in college and, I'm working so heavily with YouTube and my practice and my craft and my daily devotion stuff with my guides and my goddesses and Santa Muerte and everybody. I'm like, Selena, you need to just maybe have a day off sometime. But I never, I mean, people in the chat are going to they're going to say Selena never takes a day off. I'm doing like 5 things at once.
Oh, goodness.
And my brain like never stops. But it's also because, it's ADHD and that's just how my brain is. I have a million projects going on right now.
I understand that. I was diagnosed at 7 with ADHD. So I'm like, I feel you, honey.
Yep. I know. And then people are like, how does Selena do this? And I'm like, listen, I just can't sleep at night half the time. And if I'm trying to sleep and I'm finally going to get some good night's sleep, I have my guides are like, Selena, you need to make this oil. Selena, how about you start working on healing your root chakra? And I'm like, okay, let me plan the whole year ahead, what I'm going to start working on every month. And then they're like, okay, Selena, how about you start making a video every month and maybe you'll help somebody else on healing root chakra. So that's what I'm starting in January. It's called Returning Home Rooted is another like program that I'm doing, and I'm doing like PDF files on my Ko-fi shop for anybody that wants to join and come along with me on this healing session. And yeah, that's what happens. But yeah.
I am the same way, but I'll start going like for me to write a book. Yeah. It was very difficult for me to stay put in one spot.
So that's actually one of my questions is on your Living Lenormand. How did you approach that system, and how did you so the word Living Lenormand approaches the system as something that's alive, that's rational rather than rigid or purely predictive. Like, how did you come up with using Lenormand as like that divination language?
Because because I do kind of see it as being alive and being its own little spirit. Mm-hmm. And I approached it like that just because it helps me to think that it's alive, because that means I can talk to it and it's going to talk to me. And the only kind of things that should, and really, they should be able to do that are living things.
Yeah.
Things that are alive. And I'm also a bit of an animist, and so everything's got a spirit. And whenever you're in a relationship with something, you respect it, you take care of it, and it will take care of you, just like it says there in the book. The more you put into the relationship with the cards, the more you're going to get out of it.
This is a phenomenal book, guys. By the way, anybody that's in the chat and doesn't know what book we're talking about, this is a book that he recently wrote. I'm going to say, what was it, like 4 months ago, maybe? Did it come out?
October 21st.
Okay. So it's just only a couple months old, and it's a phenomenal book, guys. It says reading and magic with the cards. And for me, it was like mind blown. Again, like I said previously, that putting the use of this book into using it for magic was phenomenal. I'd never had seen it that way. And I just wanted to know more about Lenormand because of it.
Yeah.
And then your writing style in here is phenomenal as well.
Yeah. It's like I watched your review of it, and that really helped me. Also, thank you for the kind words.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. This was a great book. It really helped me.
And it was just about, I like to keep the way I teach. I like to keep that style kind of like we're hanging out in a bar.
Yeah.
And we're just having a conversation about cards. And I like to teach, and I like to work with people the same way I wish people worked with me. When I was starting to learn the path of the witch. And I was sister was sort of out there doing it doing it for themselves for a while. But that's every witch practice. Witchcraft encourages exploration. Witchcraft encourages you to ask questions. And that's where I was for a really long time. And it was where was I going with this? It was in that moment, excuse me, that that just goes back to my philosophy on witchcraft in general, about it makes you take a good long look at yourself. Because if I would have known what shadow work was, I don't know if I'd have left. No, I'm joking. But
speaking of shadow work, do you feel that it needs to be done on a regular basis?
Yes, in my opinion, it does, because it's shadow work is something that just ain't cut and dry, because there's stuff coming up all the time, because you're a living person, and
Correct.
You're going to have something throughout your day that's going to be interconnected to something that happened to you a while back, and it's going to bring up you're either going to feel very passionately about something that most people wouldn't, or you're just going to not react to something the same way someone else wouldn't. And to me, that says there's some stuff you got to work on back there.
It's hard to look at it that way, though. I mean, I know I have to do it on a regular basis, but when I'm not responding appropriately to something, it's really hard to analyze, why am I doing this? What's the root cause of this? It's hard to look at yourself like that.
Yeah. And it's especially difficult whenever you were never taught to look whenever you were never taught to be not so much critical of yourself, but never to be attentive to yourself. Because you raise yourself in some aspects. Yeah. And eventually, whenever you become an adult, just like you said, you ask, why am I having these feelings? Kind of like talking to a kid. Why did you do that?
Talking to your inner child.
Yes. Why are you so angry? Do you need a peanut butter sandwich, or do you need
a Snickers bar?
Need a Snickers bar? Oh my gosh! That every time I think of the
commercials.
Yes, those commercials. My favorite one is that I think it has Aretha Franklin in it in the back seat.
I love that one. That's hilarious.
When you get hungry, you turn into a diva.
I know. And I think these commercials are flipping genius. A lot of them are. But yeah, it's like, do you need a Snickers bar? What's causing you to react this way or not react this way? What's ticking you off?
And like I said, it's about going back and learning how to. Not only do we learn how to weave spells, as witches, we learn how to unweave other things.
Yeah. I love how you just said that, unweave, because we are weavers. We were definitely weavers.
Because I heard that the definition of like witch itself comes from the term to bend into shape.
Perfect.
And so it really kind of, like you said, perfect. And that is also the kind of the way I see magic in general. We're just trying to bend and shape the world into the shape we need it to be in that moment. I like to think of those little spheres we had growing up, those little balls, and you'd put the shapes in the correct spot.
Yeah.
Witchcraft itself is about learning to create your own shapes and create your own spot to put them in, creating your own orifices, if I can use if I can use a 50-cent word.
You can, definitely. So how do you encourage actually like readers to actually create a different type of relationship with the Lenormand deck instead of just like memorizing the meanings?
I mean, I encourage people, whenever they have the card in their hand, it's like, what comes up in your heart whenever you're holding this card? Let's say, like the bouquet. What do you feel when the bouquet? Yes, the bouquet does. You can look at a book, preferably my book, and get the definitions, the bouquet, celebrations, accolades. What memories does it bring up? What feelings manifest while you're holding the card? Or like me, I'm holding the whip.
Okay.
What do you think of whenever you see the whip? What do you think of whenever you see the scourge? And it's kind of like about when you plant the seed, which is the card, which is the whip, or which is the bouquet, what grows from it.
I love that.
And it's about paying attention to what grows. That is the true meaning of a card. Is it very describable? It is not, but the best thing I can illustrate it is your connection and what that card is saying to you. The stronger the connection, the clearer the message.
So I feel like it's also finding a deck that you actually resonate with when you are, because I have about maybe 7 or 8 Lenormand decks. And I like the gothy kind, so that's why I like that dark Lenormand. But I also like the alien one because it's really cute and happy. But there's also some other decks that look like Lenormand, but they're oracle decks. But they have the same cards in them, and they can be used as both. So how would you use that? How would you incorporate that? The same way?
Oh my goodness. I am a purist whenever it comes. This is me being snooty and all uppity. I am a purist whenever it comes to my Lenormand cards, and so I actually take out the extra cards.
The extra ones you do.
I use them as bookmarks.
I mean, I use a lot of them for bookmarks, but like this dark Lenormand has a lot more than, what is it,
36 cards?
36 cards. So it has, I think, 40 some in there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Lenormand decks came with extra cards. One of my favorite Lenormand decks, by the way, it was the Reign of George Lenormand deck. It's beautiful. But it came with some gorgeous extra cards, and the deck itself is so pretty. I felt horrible about taking them out because they are works of art. And I'm just like, it's okay. I'll get to see you every time.
You pull out your book.
Every time I pull out a book, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, and it's okay if you use the extra cards. If those speak to you, then listen and listen well, because there is a message there that they have for you. They don't speak to me, so I do not use them. I am a purist.
I love that. I love that. There's nothing wrong with that. I like using decks for bookmarks. I have, I always buy extra cheap ones just to use for bookmarks.
And it's just kind of like it's just kind of like I was saying, look, the book is great for talking about like the meanings of Lenormand and its history and how to do magic. But what I encourage is, like, even if your divination path is not Lenormand, go out. If you've always been too scared to go out and try divination, think, oh no, I can't do that. The only way you can't do that is because the only reason you can't do that is because you keep telling yourself you can't. Divination and fortune telling, our ancestors have been doing it ever since prehistoric times.
From regular playing cards to Lenormand.
And it's like even using like flight paths of birds, like the Greeks used to do.
Yeah.
It's divination is the birthright of humanity. And just like magic is the birthright of humanity. Anybody can do fortune telling. It's like a muscle. You just got to work it out. Find your fit, find your tool, find your partner. And I guarantee you will be able to divine and read just as the best of them out there.
Correct, because we all have these abilities. It's like you just said, it's a memory muscle. It's a muscle you have to work at with your different types of clair abilities, your different, you have to work at everything. Candle magic, if you want to do candle magic, you have to work at all that energy and intention you put into what it is you're doing.
And it's just like that with witchcraft in general. Going back to, like I said, I'm going back to my philosophy again. Here I come. It's just about putting into it and getting back out. It's giving and taking. It's giving and
Mm-hmm.
taking. It's giving and taking. And the witch is somebody who sees that giving and taking for what it is and what the impact is. We as witches definitely see a lot more than what's in front of us.
Oh, definitely. We see the magical in the mundane.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So when you were writing the Living Lenormand, is there something that revealed something new to you about your practice while you were writing this book? Like is there stuff that just like aha moments to you?
As far as like aha moments, I guess what really was the aha moment for me was realizing, oh crap, I know a lot about a subject. I wasn't aware that like my knowledge or my experiences was uh, was as extensive as it was, and
Mm-hmm.
also I wasn't aware that it was as valuable or as valid. I mean, don't write for validation, write because you love it. Don't do anything for validation, do it because you love it.
Yeah.
And that's how my writing the Living Lenormand started. Was it started off as I got something to say about this, and so
Mm-hmm.
I just started writing the lovely tome. And then it's like once I reached the end of the book, and it's like I was like, oh gosh, I guess I knew more than what I realized. And
I
it's
love
also
that.
it is just kind of realizing that yes, my experience
Mm-hmm.
is valuable. Everyone's experiences are valuable. It's just a
Everybody's
matter.
story is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Like talking to you right now, your story, learning who you are and what brought you on this path. That's what my friend Bobby from Wild Raven Tarot always says. Everybody has a story. It's, you know, again, no two people read the same. No two people had the same upbringings. But everybody has a story as to what brought them here, what brought you to this moment in your time. And I
E-
love
e-
that.
exactly. And it's what genre do you want your story to fall in? Uh, and it's about picking out whether you want to be the phone book
Mhm.
or do you want to be something that's going to make your heart sing, something that's going to give. If you were reading about you, would you get goosebumps?
Ooh, that's a nice way to put it. Would you get goosebumps? So if it makes you excited, then obviously you will get it, but you have to have that love and that devotion to be able to put it in there.
Exactly. It's devotion always before
Mhm.
validation. That's always the thing. You do what you love for the love of it. You don't do it for validation.
And then it shows when you do love it, because people that do read it and really read it were like, wow, this makes complete sense now. I understand it. And that was my feedback on that is I understand it. I'm still not perfect at reading Lenormand, but I feel like the witch part in me with the practicing and the witchcraft, I think was what really made sense to me.
It I'm glad that like it's helping people. I'm glad that
Mm-hmm.
that you had that experiences with it. And it's I'm glad that it makes me almost like a proud papa. That
Oh,
I
you
know
should be. I
that
mean, I have several other friends who are also reading the book and have given me feedback on it and told me what they're thinking on it. And we've all had the same feedback, the same experience with reading your book. So I feel like your book was done exceptionally well. And for someone who had minimal experience with Lenormand, I feel like I understand it better. And I think I'm going to gradually, the more I read it, this is a book you come back to. This is a book that you look up again and want to read again to maybe better understand a topic that didn't really hit right at the beginning, um, or you want to perfect it, what it is that you read.
Mhm, mhm. It's a it I oh my goodness, sorry, it just clicked in my head. It's like my book's a reference book.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely a reference book. There's a lot of really great information on here. You even have runes in here.
Yes.
You talk about runes in here.
And
And you mentioned tarot. There's a lot of different divination systems in here besides Lenormand.
Because it's about because even if you don't, like I said, even if you don't get into Lenormand, build your relationship with the tool of your choice, because that is a living spirit right there. And again, I'll say the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it.
Okay, so is there a particular card, spread, or concept of Living Lenormand that really feels especially personal or initiatory for you? Initiatory for you. And I know we talked about a card earlier.
My favorite card, and the card that speaks to me the most, is the Lily. And the reason I love the Lily card is, first off, lilies are beautiful. They come in different colors, different shapes, different sizes. But for the beauty of the lily to happen, am I allowed to use wordy dirties on here?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I just don't want to be like, whoop, there it is. But in order for the beauty of the lily to happen, it's got to go through literal bullshit. And so that's the reason I love the lily. It's about, people wanted to bury you, but all they were doing was fertilizing you so you could you could grow. So you could grow through the bullshit. So you could grow through the drama. So you could grow through what they're running their mouth about you. That is the lesson of the lily. Always bloom no matter what you're buried under.
Oh, that speaks so heavily to me. I think that's probably now going to be one of my favorite cards as well because of that meaning behind it. I'm still learning to get that personal relationship with them, but the fact that how you said that really speaks to me. It really speaks to me. So I think you have you have a phenomenal way of describing these cards and the magic that can be made with these cards. So how would you use that in magic, actually, now that I'm thinking about it?
The lily, one of the ways I would use the lily in magic is, I would use it to reverse a situation that really kind of started off something shitty. And I would use that to transmute that negative situation into something more beautiful, into something that's going to be a little more pleasing.
Yes, I love transmutation work. I think that's like one of the most, it's to do transmutation spells. I think a lot of people don't do them, and a lot of people should do them instead of returning to sender.
Take the crap they sent you and fertilize your garden with it.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I mean, not the shit part, but the fertilizing and the transmutation work that comes with that, I think, is phenomenal. I love transmutation work. So how do you see Lenormand supporting everyday decision making, your self-trust, intuitive confidence over time?
One of the way I see that happening is, as your relationship grows with the card deck, you'll start getting clearer, more expansive messages. It's kind of like, I like to compare it to, it's kind of like whenever you've built a relationship with a close friend, the relationship gets deeper. The messages and the stuff they share with you start to get deeper. The quality of the relationship and the gifts that they give you start to get deeper. And that's how you should approach your relationship with Lenormand. Work with it every day. Even if you don't pull cards, sort through the cards, shuffle the cards, talk to the cards, do three card draws, do a 1 card draw, that's how you approach Lenormand. Lenormand is something that you live.
Living Lenormand. Living Lenormand.
Where's my flashing text that says shameless promotion? No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna shamelessly promote it because I love this book so much. But yeah, we're gonna keep plugging it in, and anybody else in the chat, if you guys can keep putting in the link to purchase this book, please do so. Any of my moderators, yeah, they've been doing that, but why not keep plugging it in? So you've spoken about fears of one's own power as something that can quietly shape a spiritual path. How do you see that showing up with modern spiritual spaces?
Let's see. Fear of power shaping one's spiritual path. Well, I'm worried whenever I don't see it in somebody.
Okay.
It is it definitely, the way it can, don't be scared of your power, just have respect for it. Be scared be scared if you don't see that respect, because in a way that kind of goes back to self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really are not so much going out of control and just letting your power run wild, that's not respecting yourself, and that's not respecting the power. A healthy way to look at it is not so much fear your power, but respect it. But don't be too respected. Don't respect it so much where you keep it on a shelf and just look at it. Take
Perfectly
it down
said.
and use it in ways that enrich yourself and your community.
So when those strong emotions arise, like in your practice, how do you work with them in a way that feels honest but grounded?
The way I work with them, like let's say I'm doing like a 3 souls alignment or doing my grounding exercise. Sometimes those things, big emotions pop up whenever I'm doing grounding. And the way I use that in my spell work, it goes back to that transmutation. If it's sadness that pops up, I don't think about what made me sad. What I think about is ways that I cannot do that same thing to make somebody else sad. It's that's how I'm trying to articulate things I've never articulated before.
Yeah.
You take that energy, you see it for what it is, you name it, and that's how you begin to flip it. That's how you begin to transmute it. And that's what I do. And it's like when these feelings pop up, you're like, why am I so sad? Why am I having all these emotions? I'm just doing grounding. That is your point to dive deeper and to go back to that root and name it for what it is. Because once you give something a name, once you name it, you take away its power.
Nicely said. I need to remember that. It's like once you name it, you give it, you take its power away, because you can actually hold on to that power and then transmute that power.
Exactly. It's not so much like you said about return to sender. It's about you get hit with this energy and then you just say, oh, isn't this nice? Like a balloon animal. And then you're like, it's a poodle. There we go.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that analogy of the poodle and the balloon, making a balloon animal. That's perfect. Perfect. So you also have a podcast.
Yes.
And your podcast journey helped you reclaim your voice in a very real way. What has finding your voice meant beyond speaking, especially in your role as a publisher?
What that has meant for me whenever it comes to speaking, I've always been one who's been scared. Like growing up, I was timid, really scared to use my voice, and that really let people walk all over me. And when I started doing the podcast, and when people started, or even before people started wanting to listen to the podcast, it was about learning to love the sound of my own voice. Because once I learned to love the sound of me talking, then that's how I get acclimated to speaking up for myself. You got to love the sound of your own voice if you're going to talk a lot.
Very true. And then when you are reviewing somebody's book, you have to learn to talk to yourself while you're reviewing the book and pretending someone's there in front of you. So, yeah. That's something that I've had to learn to do as well when I started coming on YouTube, because I have nobody else in front of me when I'm recording, not doing a live. And it was an adjustment to hear myself talk.
And it's just about, but yeah, starting to do the podcast really helped me be able to speak up for myself. It's like I found this boldness, and I just found this empowerment, and I guess like interviewing people and talking to them and also talking to them about their books.
Yeah.
And also pelting them with questions, kind of, I'm still getting used to being on this side, being on this side of the screen and not the other side.
The other side. So with your witchcraft and divination and the publishing world, what kind of stories or voices feel most important to uplift right now?
We definitely need, especially right now, we need Latinos, we need African American people voices. Those are voices that really need to be amplified, along with LGBTQ. But in particularly, I think Latin voices, especially practitioners. I mean, I know you guys are already out there giving them hell.
Yeah, we are.
But
I mean, Bobby's also Latino.
Keep giving them hell.
So you have, and then Ramon is also Latino. So you have two Mexicans and a Puerto Rican, putting out, just talking about Dia de los Muertos or our practice, the language, learning all of that, as well as putting it out there. Bobby's like, Selena, why don't you make videos in Spanish?
Yeah. I'd say but it's like, especially with the way I see things transpiring in the country right now, Latin voices keep getting louder and louder, because the only people who are going to be scared of that voice is people who are really terrified about how big the world actually is.
Nicely said. Nicely said. So, how do you navigate responsibility and care when holding space for others, particularly voices that live in liminal or in between spaces?
How do I hold space? One of the ways I like to do it, especially, is just being there to listen, because we've talked and talked and talked. Because especially being a white male, we've done a lot of talking. So I think we need to shut up and listen for a change, and just because there's truth all around us. And I think that's what's real. If we truly want something unified, something beautiful, something like the Coca-Cola song sings about, if I could teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I don't know. I think I just dated myself.
Well, we're not going to say that out loud.
Only to everybody listening at home.
I know.
We have to learn to use our ears, as teachers would say. We got to learn to put on our listening ears.
I love that. So what do you wish more people understood about witchcraft and divination as living, evolving practices rather than fixed systems or just an aesthetic?
What I really like to say about this is, because all throughout my book, divination has no dogma. Divination has no dogma. Witchcraft has no dogma. And it's kind of like, what I want people to understand about witchcraft is that there is no book that's going to tell you what kind of wand to get, what kind of athame to get, what kind of anything to get. Witchcraft is something that resonates within you. It's something primal. It's something that we're all born connected to.
Perfect.
And what you do with that connection is completely up to you. Squander it, or use it wisely.
Correct. And with witchcraft, it's any book you pick up, it's their own personal gnosis. So their relationship with said deity or whomever it is that they're working with, they're going to have a certain experience. Your experience is not going to match exactly that experience. And the way that they practice is not going to match exactly your practice.
Exactly. And it's just kind of like, if you don't like what that book is saying, write your own.
Very, very true. Write your own, but also you can use what it is that they're doing in that book and make it your own. And you don't have to follow the spell exactly to a T. If something else resonates with you on that spell, then add it, because you're adding in your own personal magic into it. You're making it your own.
Exactly. And that's what really packs the oomph in a lot of spell work, is when you take it beyond the book and you put feeling into it, and you put that energy into it that is truly yours. That is magic. That is will in action, baby.
Exactly. Like, I'm not one to do rhyming. Like I'm horrible at rhyming words, but I put in my own action, my own intention, and the spells work out just fine without my rhyming words. And like, I can't force myself to rhyme it because it doesn't feel natural to me.
And that's the thing. It's about, if we just learned, because I think I harp on this in the book about people getting really attached to books. People are like, oh my gosh, this is my Lenormand book. I got to keep it so I know what the cards mean. I personally got away from a group that really loved a book.
Oh.
And it really didn't and I'm not saying let's just burn all books or anything like that. If
Yeah.
anything, books are guideposts. They're
Yeah.
supposed to inspire you. They're supposed to, kind of like you were talking about earlier, if somebody doesn't like the way someone's doing a certain thing, and I said, write your own book. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, picking up that book on witchcraft is an invitation to you to put your voice out there. I put mine out there. Let's hear what you got to say.
Nicely said. I love that. I love that. So when you hear the word liminal, what does it mean to you personally?
To me, liminal is, whenever I hear the word liminal, I kind of
Mm-hmm.
see a trapeze, someone swing from a trapeze, and they're in that spot in between the two trapeze. And I kind of see that for me personally, kind of in those liminal moments, choices really matter because choices
Mm-hmm.
manifest more than just words from your mouth. The liminal space is the space of manifestation. A liminal space is the space of creation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I see a liminal space. I mean, even when we do our magics, we work to get into a liminal state of mind.
Yeah, we do.
And I just think that's how I feel about liminality. It's a place of power, and what you do with that power, again, is completely up to you.
Yeah, most definitely. So for those that are just beginning like their path, and what wisdom would you offer someone about trusting their intuition and claiming their inner authority?
What I would do to get someone to trust their intuition, the way I describe intuition in my book, is that intuition is that feeling that sits right here in your heart, and it also makes sense to some part of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have a feeling, if a word pops into your spirit and it just hits you a certain way, it is something that you should really pay attention to. And it's going to take time for you to trust your intuition. You're going to learn not to. What are your opinions on a fourth? Oh, like a fourth, as in like a fourth partner?
Bobby, is that what you're asking? Please clarify, Bobby. Please clarify down here. I love you, Bobby.
To
Oh
answer
my
that question, I am a glutton for punishment, but not that much.
Oh my God. I wouldn't have seen it unless Bridget here was pointing with arrows. Thanks, Bridget. Oh my gosh. He is laughing. He. Oh my God.
Adorable.
Yeah. I can't wait for your guys' interview live chat. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Oh yes, because now I have something to work with.
Oh yes, I love that. I'm going to be front row for that one, Bobby.
Bring the popcorn. Just don't forget to
Get
share with
juicy.
me.
Okay, it's going to get juicy for sure. So what are you currently creating, stewarding, dreaming about, feel most aligned with, or truth in your life right now?
The truth that I'm really aligning with right now is why worry, especially over shit you have no control over. I have to take moments where I stop. Can you do anything about that at this time, at this hour, at this second? No. Chill the hell out. And
Yeah.
because I just get anxiety. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do if I don't get to do this and this and this and this and this tomorrow? And I have to tell myself, you're like, Eron, it's not tomorrow. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the Christmas tree cakes that you're eating. Enjoy.
Yes, I love those things.
Yeah. Enjoy the Pepsi that you're drinking. It is live in the moment, Eron. Live in the damn moment, because you almost ran out of moments a few years ago.
Oh, that's so true. Very, very true. So I know we've talked about where people can find your Living Lenormand and support your work. Are there any other projects that you're working on?
I
Or
am
are you
working
just taking a
on.
breather right now after this, after birthing this book?
Oh no, I'm already diving in on number 2. It is going to have to do with Greek mythology and my relationship to the Greek god Hermes.
So, oh my goodness. So I think Bobby's really gonna, he also is a Hermes devotee.
Me too, Bobby.
Oh goodness gracious, Bobby. He's gonna be, he's probably wetting himself.
I bet I
I
have a
love
new
you, Bobby.
Instagram follower.
Yep. Yeah, definitely put up. Oh, see, look, someone just said Bobby is in heaven now. Yeah. He is so he actually taught me how to do a spell for Hermes to help with my mom coming back from Mexico because there was issues down there, and um she had a hard time getting on a plane because stuff was happening, and he's like, hey, do this Hermes spell, and 7 days later my mom is happily on a plane coming back home.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's a real one.
Yeah, he
Her,
definitely. Oh goodness, here you go. Are you effing kidding me? So he'll be writing a book on Hermes there, Bobby. You guys can talk about that too. Oh goodness, oh goodness, there's already stuff being said in the chat.
calm your tatas.
Yes, that's one of his favorite phrases. I'm excited. Oh my goodness. So when is that anticipated to come out, or are you just like still in the beginning process of that? And will
I'm
that
still in
be
the
with
beginning
Cross Prep as
process.
well?
Yes, I'm going through Cross Crow on that one, and it is just in. I just finished the introduction, and I'm working my way through the chapters now.
Oh, I'm excited to hear that one. I'm excited to read it and review it because that's going to be a good one.
I am shooting to try to get it out. Well, at the end of the day, it's up to Cross Crow, but I think we want to. I think I would love it if it came out at the same time this my first book came out.
So this coming October.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How exciting. Is your birthday in October, by the way?
My birthday is in September. I am a Virgo.
Okay. So I was wondering if why October was important to you.
I just like it because I'm a Halloween fanatic.
Okay. Definitely. I love Halloween too. That's the only holiday that matters.
It is. It should just be the only holiday on the wheel. Just take the rest of them off.
I agree.
I'm going to get strongly worded DMs later.
I 100% agree with you.
Mazza.
Yep. Just get rid of all of them and only leave Samhain on there. That's all I care about.
And that's a Samhain is really the only Sabbath I celebrate. That one and Beltane.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another
a good one.
Yes, Beltane. I love I
Good
love
maple.
a nice. Yeah, I do love a good maple. But anywho, wait a minute. I'm not on the Baptist chat. What is going on?
I love it. I love it. This has been absolutely phenomenal. Do you have any final words, reflections, blessings you'd like to leave those walking the threshold alongside you?
A word of advice would be: don't be scared to start small. I started small. Don't be scared to get your hands dirty and mess up and make mistakes. And a blessing I would like to leave you with is: may you get a full 8 hours of sleep tonight.
Oh, I love that. Does anybody have any questions for Eron? Not Bobby. You can ask him later, Bobby. I know how yours are going to be. We do need to start our own little witch fest here, guys. This would be phenomenal to do. Do you do any like markets or anything like that where you do witch fasts?
I
like
do.
Any of these?
I'm going to be at Convocation in Michigan in February, and I will be in New Orleans in May. Yes, I will be in New Orleans in May doing the SassyCon.
Oh, I love New Orleans. Bobby also lived in New Orleans for a while.
I haven't spoken to Bobby yet, but he strikes me as the New Orleans type.
Yes. I was in New Orleans a couple years ago for my birthday in October. I'm an October baby. And it was the most incredible experience I had in my entire life. I love New Orleans.
It's definitely most people think about New Orleans and they're like, woo, party city, but it can actually be a very spiritual place.
Very much a spiritual place. Going to the shops there, even just feeling the energy that's around you when you're walking around, smelling everything. Although the smells aren't always the best, but taking in that energy, it's definitely a very liminal place, New Orleans.
Yes, I live in St. Louis, and we have the second largest Mardi Gras celebration here.
I've seen that. Someone on YouTube they were like doing a video of they went to Mardi Gras there.
Oh yes, some friends of mine, we get a little spot in a bar. It's like an upper room in a bar, and we just throw beads down to people.
Oh, goodness. Bobby's going to
a
be
lot of
going
fun.
from Arizona to St. Louis to have beads thrown at him.
You got to work for them beads, Bobby.
Oh, Bobby. Oh, he's already, oh, goodness gracious, Bobby. I love you. He was my husband he was my wife in a past life, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So made for a very interesting household.
Yeah, him and I had a very we've had multiple past lives together. The three of us in our chat have had multiple past lives together. So it's pretty phenomenal when you have your soul family still with you.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. I think I haven't really dove into those relationships, but I like to think it's one of those people who I'd meet and I'd be like, have I met you somewhere before?
Yes, that is when you know that you've known them in a past life. When you have that instant connection, you meet them for the first time and you're like, oh my God, you're my best friend. Where have you been all my life? That type of relationship is an instant, yes, they were in your past life.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh goodness. I was your husband. So does anybody, oh, here we go. We have a question for Draven. If you could talk to any spiritual influence ever, who would it be and what would you talk about? Nice, Draven.
If I could talk to anybody, I would probably want to talk to let's see. Lori Cabot would be an interesting person to talk to. I would also like to talk to Mademoiselle Lenormand herself and figure out, so why these cards?
Yeah.
Why? What made you take a board game and turn it into a system of divination? Well, she didn't do that. It was something that. What made you make a living out of using the system of divination?
Yeah, for me, it would be Marie Laveau.
Oh, that would be a good one too.
She'd be amazing to chat with. Any other questions? But that's a really good one, Draven. Thank you. Any other questions before we? Of course.
We've all been drunk in New Orleans bars.
Did you have a question, Miss Tarot D? We need more. Okay, where's your question, Madrina? Did you set up your date yet for Aaron's interview? Oh, Bobby, I can't spell. Madrina, please put in your question. Yes. Oh, ask about Streganona.
Oh my gosh, I have the anthology of all the Streganona books.
You do?
Yes. Where is it?
So Miss Tarot D is Italian. So
me too.
So if you know about who Mary Grace Farron is, she wrote a lot of the. Well, she has a second book now about Italian folk magic and stuff like that. So with Wiser Books.
Oh gosh, what was it? Isn't it like Italian folk magic? I think it is.
Yeah.
I have that. Do I have that book? No, I guess I need to buy that book.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can get it sent by Wiser if you're with Crosscrow. They go hand in hand.
Would you have Lady? I would definitely have. I would definitely have her read for me because she was known for being quite sassy, and
ooh.
I appreciate a good read every now and again, especially from the cards.
I love that. Beautiful. What is New Orleans? Oh, Jan. Any other questions, guys, for Eron? Or you guys can save them as well and ask them on Bobby's channel. Because I'm sure that's going to be a very long interview. Oh, how exciting. Okay, guys, going once, going twice. Oh, here we go. It's from Amber, Psychopomp of the Void. What was the most impactful Lenormand pull you've done? Ooh, that's a good one, Amber.
Amber, for myself or for clients?
Probably just in general, I feel.
I pulled cards. One of the most, I actually talk about it in the book. I pulled cards for somebody who was in a relationship that was not very good for them, and it came out in the cards. With the shithead husband sitting right over there, cross-armed, mean mugging me.
Oh, you spilled his tea, didn't you?
Yes. And this was back when I read at the bar over here in St. Louis. And he was just sitting over there, mean mugging me, and his partner was getting his reading done. And so I was like, well, in the future, what's going to happen is, and then it starts talking about separation and being happier, and just all the tea got spilled. The teapot, not just the teacups, all got dumped over.
Kettle and everything, huh?
The whole damn kettle. Fast forward a few months, it's the summer, and the same guy comes back to get another reading from me, and he gives me a hug. And I'm like, I was just kind of like, you got out, didn't you? He's like, yeah, I got out. It was tough. And then he went on to tell me in detail just about how crazy it was. And so that is the most impactful Lenormand reading I've ever done.
Wow. I love when stuff comes out like that. Because I've done like the tarot readings. Some of them come out like that. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And it's just all the tea is like all, like the guides are just making all those cards fly out for a reason.
Yep, I guess the person I was reading for, their spirits got tired of seeing him getting treated like crap, so he chose to spill the tea in front of a 5'11", 240-pound beefy Italian. Not that I was saying I was going to do anything about it, but
so you're 5'11".
Yeah, 5'11". Exactly. I'm not short. I'm average height.
Oh, Bobby, I can just see the look on your face right now. Oh, goodness. But Miss Tara D is Italian, so she's going to be, she's phenomenal. Another Italian, phenomenal person. I have a little bit of Italian in me. Bobby wants to know, do you teach online?
I have never taught online before, but I'm definitely open to the idea of it.
Okay, that's a nice one to maybe start venturing out on, doing classes.
Yeah, because I mean, I teach at like the cons,
especially
and
for
stuff
Lenormand.
like
I think that's definitely a different one, not tarot, but Lenormand, where you can really teach people how to, not only what's in the book, but some people have a hard time reading and need to have it told to them.
Yes, and I am. I might have to do that. I might have to have a Living Lenormand class, because I mean, I do teach. You're lovely too.
I love this, guys. Thank you all so much for sharing. Everybody's sharing your Instagram. You're going to have a bunch of new followers on there. I love this. Bobby, do you teach online? Swampy, thank you. Oh, you're queer.
As a $3 bill, baby.
I loved it. Do you have? Yes. Do you have? Yeah, you have a YouTube, don't you? Did I?
Mm-mm.
Or no?
I do audio only podcasts. I have a face for audio only.
Oh goodness, I love it. Face for audio. Oh my goodness, this is fabulous, guys. You guys are the best chatters ever. You guys really are amazing. I love you guys.
I'm enjoying all the attention. I'm just basking in the attention.
I know. I love this. They are literally the best. I have the best community ever. I really do. I love my community. They're amazing.
They are awesome. But I've never considered doing YouTube before, but I suppose, especially if I want to teach, because I would definitely probably be a better video teacher than like writing out a curriculum.
Yeah, Miss Tara D says, join YouTube and become part of our community.
I could do that. It'd be fun to pop into the
Our
chat whenever you're.
lives.
Yes.
Oh, I love this. Thank you, Maru, for sharing my book review.
And
Oh,
it is a lovely review.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I thought the same thing, Bobby, when I saw him. Does look like your husband.
Lucky man.
Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Well, thank you so much, Erin. This has been a complete treat. Again, everybody, please purchase the Living Lenormand. It's on Crosscrow Books website. It's also on Amazon website or your local bookstore. You can probably find it there as well. Definitely support our lovely guest here, Erin. You will not be disappointed with this book, guys. Truly a phenomenal book to have, one to keep on your bookshelf as a permanent reference book as well. I think it definitely deserves to be on a permanent shelf. So thank you guys so very much. Erin, thank you so much for joining me on this live. Everybody in my chat, I love you guys so very much. You guys are phenomenal. You guys really are the best chatters ever, the best community ever. So.
Yeah.
And do you have any other projects coming up currently? Anything on your podcast coming up?
The podcast, I kind of had the podcast on hiatus because I'm working on book number 2. But as soon as I finish book number 2, I'm going to be back to interviewing.
Nice. Lovely.
So keep your eyes open so I can return the favor.
Oh, definitely. I would love to come on and chat with you on there. Thank you, Bridget, for being a fabulous moderator. I love you.
Thanks, Bridget.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody, please again check out his book. Follow him on Instagram. Don't harass him too much on the DMs. But if you want to, go right ahead.
I have no problem. I'm quite known for witty retort. For is it retort? I think it is.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That thing.
Whatever you want to say. Whatever it is.
That thing.
That's fine.
I enjoy good banter.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much, Erin. If you just want to hold off in the backstage for a little bit after we end this interview, so we can chat for a little bit, I'd appreciate it. But sure. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys so very much for being at the Voices from the Liminal. I appreciate you all, and everybody have a great night. Bye, guys.